I never thought a simple act of kindness would turn my whole world upside down. That day, I carried heavy bags of groceries to my mother-in-law's house, determined to show her how much I supported my husband and his family. My hands ached, my back was sore, but my heart was light. I believed I was doing the right thing, being the caring wife, the daughter-in-law she could rely on. But when I pushed the gate open and stepped into that house, my entire body froze. What I saw inside shattered every illusion I had about the life I was living. From the beginning, my marriage to Daniel had been a test of patience. He was charming, yes, but his loyalty to his mother overshadowed everything else. His mother, Gloria, never truly accepted me. She would smile in front of people, but behind closed doors, she whispered criticisms about me not being good enough for her son. Still, I bit my tongue. I believed love was about sacrifice, about proving yourself through actions rather than words. That was why, even on days when we barely had enough money for ourselves, I found a way to buy groceries for her. I wanted to ease her burden, to show Daniel I loved not only him but his family too. That day, as I set the bags down on her porch, I heard laughter coming from inside. It wasn't unusual, Gloria often had visitors. But the laughter was followed by a voice I knew all too well. My husband's. At first, I smiled. Maybe he had come here to surprise her too. But as I pushed the door open and stepped in, my smile died. Daniel was sitting on the couch, his arm draped casually around another woman. And not just any woman, my own cousin, Lily. My heart stopped. The groceries slipped from my hands, the sound of cans rolling across the floor echoing like thunder in the silence that followed. Daniel's face went pale. Lily, however, smirked, as if she had won a silent battle I didn't even know I was fighting. My mother-in-law stood by the side, arms crossed, her expression cold but unsurprised. She had known. She had accepted this. I wanted to scream, to rage, to demand answers. But my voice betrayed me. All I could manage was a whisper, "Why?" Daniel stuttered, searching for excuses. He said things like, "It just happened, and I didn't mean to hurt you." Lily leaned into him, her smile mocking me, her fingers grazing his arm as though to stake her claim. And then Gloria spoke, her voice cutting through my silence like a blade, "This is what's best for him. Lily understands him better than you ever could." The weight of her words crushed me, but at the same time, something inside me sparked, a fire I didn't know I had. I realized then that I had been bending, breaking, molding myself to fit their expectations, but I would never be enough for them. Not because of who I was, but because they had never truly wanted me in the first place. I left the groceries scattered on the floor and walked out without another word. My legs trembled, but my steps grew steadier with each stride. That night, I cried until there were no tears left. But the next morning, I stood tall. I began rebuilding my life. Not for Daniel, not for his mother, not to prove anything to Lily, but for myself. I got a job, I reconnected with friends I had distanced myself from, and I even found comfort in writing, pouring my pain onto paper. Weeks later, Daniel showed up at my apartment, disheveled and regretful. He said Lily wasn't what he thought, that his mother's influence had clouded his judgment. He begged me to take him back. For a moment, the old me, the woman who always gave, always forgave, wanted to consider it. But then I remembered the laughter in that living room, the betrayal in Lily's smirk, the coldness in Gloria's voice. And I knew I deserved better. I told him calmly, "You chose your path, and I've found mine. I'm not walking back into a house that never welcomed me. I'm building a home of my own, where I'm enough just as I am." His eyes filled with tears, but mine did not. For the first time in years, I felt free. And that's the lesson my story carries. Sometimes the people we give the most are the ones who betray us deepest. But betrayal doesn't define us, our response to it does. I walked into my mother-in-law's house that day carrying groceries, but I walked out carrying something much more valuable, my self-worth.